Another Thursday edition of Born to Ride Radio. It is April 7th already.
7th, oh my God.
Wow.
Flying by.
April Fool's came and gone.
Yes, it has. It is Born to Ride Radio on the Boss Hogg Radio Network. I'm Fester Jenkins. In the studio with me, I've got Mama Dukes. We also have Ron Galletti from Born to Ride himself there. And of course, we've got Pete and Ninja back in the studio because they've got something interesting going on this weekend that we'll be talking about a little later. But right now, how was everyone's weekend?
Awesome. Busy. Awesome.
Very
It
busy.
seemed like it was just yesterday.
Yeah.
Fester, did you do like a April Fool on anybody, or you, Mama Dukes?
No.
I didn't all day.
Did you?
No. Did you guys?
No, actually.
we've been too busy.
Because with all the stuff that we're involved with,
Yeah.
April 1 is also Wear Blue Day for National Child Abuse Prevention Month.
So that is
Yeah.
a blue color. It almost is like purple, but it's really blue.
Mm-hmm.
It's really, I'll tell you, it's with Bikers Care today. We've got the Pinwheel run coming up. So we're going to be talking about that a lot, But one thing I was going to ask you, maybe Chris, is like when you go into a store and you're just 9 to 5 and go into the store or something, and you see someone wearing a blue dress of that color, what do you think of when you see that color?
I think about the kids. I think about the Child Abuse Awareness Month. It's a pretty color, too.
It has meaning, doesn't it, Pete?
Yeah, it does. It does. It's like, there's so many things that can trigger an emotional response from people. It might be a memory, a song, a smell. As long as we're doing this now, blue is kind of one of those things that, when we see that, it just makes us think. Takes us think.
And it has a lot. It's symbolic, the pinwheel, the breeze that just makes it turn. Is that significance to the, to Pinwheel Run? I guess that is, but to the overall Bikers Care. What does it mean to you that the pinwheel? It's amazing when you really look at them.
Yeah.
It moves by.
Yeah, the Pinwheel for Prevention program is a national program, and that's their symbol, is the pinwheel. And it's supposed to represent the right for every child to have a great childhood. That's bottom line. And the only way that's going to happen is if we all, but it's the old saying, right? It takes a village. It takes a village to raise a child. And under the circumstances that I'm sure we'll talk a little bit more later on, it's that much more important if we're going to put a dent into this kind of a problem.
Well, you guys are real bikers through and through. Old
Riding a
school,
long time,
like
brother.
old
Old
school
school.
bikers, and that's it really means a lot when you're so devoted to a cause, and I feel that so heavy with you guys, and that's why we like to work with you guys, because you're like the real deal, like 100%. We're going to make a difference. And then going back to the pinwheel, the movement of the air, that pinwheel it doesn't stop. It keeps going. And so it's that continuous passion or the continuous hard work that you put in for your cause is besides doing everything else you do.
Yeah. Well, you think that's bikers in general, right? I mean, of all the different little communities out there, bikers have the biggest hearts. They're always the most generous, the most caring. They really do put their money where their mouth is, and they get things done. So it's proud to be part of that kind of a community. And as you mentioned, we've been at it a long time.
So
We're just old.
what are you riding these days?
I got a 16 straight glide now. Yeah, with some of the miles that we put on, and I'm getting older, so I got to have a little comfort there.
So is our butt.
It keeps our butt happy
Yeah.
when we start getting into the 400 and 500 mile range.
Right.
But,
Have you gone on any cool rides lately? What getting out there on the bike? Have you got a chance?
I don't think we've been on the bike for a couple of months.
we
We
actually
just bought a brand new seat. And we
got a
haven't
new
even
saddle
used it
for
yet.
it and got to break it in for a short ride. But I tell you what we love to do. We love to get out on the bike, and there's a really cool app out there that you can either download routes that other people have made, or you can spin the wheel with it. You can say, I want to go this direction, this far, make it a loop, and then just let it plot your course, and you just go, right? Because anybody who likes being in the wind, it's not that final destination. It's not that one bar to the next. It's just the ride, you know.
Or you
Where
can
end up
just
is all
ignore the
secondary.
app and call the police department by mistake.
Well, what is the app?
Oh, what is the name of that thing?
My friend Steve has Finn's Finds, and you can look
Yeah,
him
yeah,
up.
yeah,
He's got a lot of cool roads,
Yeah.
and he's
What was that?
goes out and makes these cool maps, and that's a good service to bikers. Have you guys been out riding, Fester? I know you guys rode out all the way to Thunder by the Bay, up from where you guys live. That
Yep.
was a cold night too.
Oh,
Yeah, that was a cold evening going back, and Daytona was a cool evening also there. Yep.
Burning Bike. Man.
Yep, burning bike.
But you wanted to see Night Ranger. Or no, it wasn't Night Ranger. What was the band? What was the band at Thunder by the Bay? They were on here at the show. Firehouse.
Firehouse. Yep.
See, I was thinking about Burning Bike and I couldn't think of Firehouse. But they were pretty good at Thunder by the Bay, right?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah.
yeah, it was a good show.
Thunder by the Bay is always a great event. No doubt about that. Yeah.
So that app you're looking for is called Scenic.
Oh, just seeing
Yeah,
it.
just Scenic. Yeah. But it's nice because, like I said, you can access a lot of websites, and probably on Fence too, where they have like this GPX file format for downloading the maps. And it's hard to find something that'll
Yeah.
work with the Google map or something like that.
Well, you never know, too, when there's construction or something else going
yeah,
on.
yeah. Let's have the fun, right?
Where do you like to ride, though? Because you guys live around here, right?
Yes.
Where do you live, like Zephyr Hills or somewhere?
Yeah, not what, maybe 20 minutes from here, 30 minutes.
There's a lot of nice roads there, but where do you, when you get out, want to get away and just kind of, get away from everything, where would you like, locally, do you have a special, I
We
have
don't
one.
go local. We're go anywhere. We're at least 100 miles out.
Well, like
it's,
if you
not,
just-
it's not unusual for us to do a 200 or 300 mile day.
Yeah. Well, what
Just for fun.
anything around Zephyr Hills, any particular roads you like there? Because there's a lot of good stuff there.
There's,
Zephyr
I
Hills,
think,
Dade
anywhere,
City.
anywhere from up here north,
Maybe Dade City.
it's got some really beautiful roads, and that's one of the reasons when people come out for the ride on Saturday, we've got a back road route. We're not doing the Main Street thing. I don't really care who sees the procession. I'd rather the people who come out and enjoy the ride. So they've got us a really nice route planned through the back roads to get over to the dealership on Saturday. But anywhere up near that area is beautiful, and so is that. Every part of the state's gorgeous.
Yeah,
There's all
that's what I'm
kinds of great
saying. Where,
places to
where do
ride.
you guys like to get away to, just to get out and ride? Do you have a special place, Fester, where you like to go when you leave? I mean, because you stay here sometimes, Plant City, but then you guys were at over there by
41 up in Citrus
Yeah.
County. going
Yeah.
through something
Citrus
or something.
County, beautiful places. Marion County, no doubt about it. Silver Springs. You've got the Crystal River area there itself. I mean, in other words, I'll tell you, 44 going over to Daytona
Yeah.
was a beautiful stretch. And it had been years and years since I'd been there on that one. But
44 off the interstate or 40.
no, 44.
Route 44.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Route
Straight Route
44. Going through
Like,
Lake County and Sumter there, and by Coleman there, just taking it through there.
Yeah.
Just when you start getting over past Lake County and into Volusia County, I mean, just a gorgeous ride there, and pretty nice road.
yeah.
Not that was a very good ride going over towards
I
Burning
drove,
Bike
he
there.
rode.
When we go out somewhere new, because our bike's got the navigation system on it, right? Yeah, I know. It's not really old school, but I'm getting older. I like my comfort. But
It's
what we
nice
like
to
about
have.
it is there's I don't know why they're color coded this way, but it seems that all the yellow roads connect sooner or later. So we'll just get on and follow the yellow brick road
Right.
until we come up to an intersection. Go which way you want to go, straight, left, right, and we just pick one. And as long as we're staying on a yellow road, we're good. And then when it's time to go home, you just hit home and take the trip home. But that way you never know what you're going to run into or what you're going to see. It's like what was the name of that little place we saw up there that we'd never been to? It's off of Highway 50, maybe a couple of miles. That would be east of 301, and you go down this little Quebec road, and there's an old general store there.
Yeah, they got
I can't remember the name.
I
of
don't
it.
remember the name.
Richland.
Richland.
Yeah,
Richland.
Richland.
Yep.
Uh-huh.
That's a
And-
nice little place.
And we've been
Yeah.
living in the area for like 20,
Never knew it
30
was there.
years. Never
Yeah.
been there, but it's a really cool place to stop by and go inside, and it's all It's like taking a step back in time.
Yeah, that's the fun part of just getting out and riding through these older towns and seeing.
Yeah.
I like to find like antique stores and stuff, like thrift stores, but
Yeah.
there's nothing like a cool old park where you got the place you can pull over and relax and hang out with your friends.
Yeah.
And then you always know those stops when you're back in that area you can remember and go to, special restaurants. Is that Jeff?
Yes, it's Jeff.
We have a call.
Are you ready for the caller?
Are you?
Jeff's sitting on hold whenever
right.
we're ready.
Yeah,
There.
let's bring Jeff on. Jeff's got something special coming up.
Okay. Hello, caller. You're on the air. Jeff, you there?
Hey, how you guys doing?
Jeff, how are you, man? Thanks for calling in. I really appreciate it.
Fantastic. I appreciate you guys giving me a spot on your show tonight.
Well, Riding for an Angel, it's April 9th. It's coming up this weekend.
Yes, it is. It's
in memory of Justin.
It's unfortunate circumstances, but we're trying to step up, help out some little kids that need some help down the road. And Justin was 37 years old and left us on the 18th of February from end of days cancer. So we decided to put together a nice ride and send him off properly. And we're hoping to have a big event, a big turnout.
Yeah, how can people be a part of this, man? Tell us where does it start at and what time?
Okay, so we're going to register Saturday, the 9th at 9:30 at the Scoreboard Lounge on US 92 in Seffner. And that'll be kickstands up at 11. We will be doing raffles at different locations. Once we leave the Scoreboard Lounge, we're going to head over to Harley-Davidson and Brandon to the Red Star Live. We'll probably be at each location about 45 minutes. Once we leave Red Star, we'll head over to Smoky Bones, which was the last place that Justin was employed as a bartender there. And the next card will be drawn at Papa Beer over on US 41. And once we leave there, we will head down to River's Edge and arrive there at about 10 after 2. And that's where everything will be set up, waiting, the raffle items, 50-50, auction items. We've got Sobriety X playing from 2 to 6. And we've got a bunch of nice gift baskets, and then definitely be some nice things that we're going to be auctioning and raffling off.
So I was saying, man, that sounds like a good day, a lot of good stops. And that's Smoky Bones, that's the one by the mall in Brandon?
That's correct.
And Justin worked there. He was a bartender?
Yeah, he was a bartender there. And he worked there until he just couldn't do it. And, it took one trip to go to the hospital, and that was his last trip there. He never made it out.
Well, I know you knew Justin and were close and family wise as well, but he was a fighter though, right?
Yeah, I mean, he was blindsided everybody. I mean, he was diagnosed the 23rd of December, 2 days before Christmas, and basically within 8 weeks, he was done. And there was really no warning signs or anything. I mean, he's complained about, his back was hurting, but the guy's a very good golfer, and they golfed all the time. So we just think, well, if you're golfing a lot, your back's probably sore a little bit, here and there. And then where it really caught our attention was when he said he was seeing double vision, and he didn't know why. So once we got that clue, that's when we told him, you need to go to the hospital and get this checked out. So that was the first real sign that we had that there was something going on, that nobody really knew what was going on. But he was a good man, and he had 3 young boys. He's left his wife behind. The background for Justin is me and Lori. Lori was his mother, and that was her only child. And Lori's my girlfriend. And so it's been really difficult for her because, unfortunately, 2 weeks prior to Justin passing, her father passed in Texas at 84 years old. So that probably doesn't happen to a lot of people where you lose two family members in the same month.
Man, I know. I remember you did tell me about that. But he has 3 sons. He's leaving behind 5 years old, 9, and 13.
Yeah.
So his legacy will live on, and his mom will have 3 grandchildren. To remember him. If there's any light, I mean, he's got 3 sons to carry himself on, and to live. And that's why it's so important that people get behind this. Isn't that right, man?
Yeah, we can. We're not turning anybody away. We do have a waiver. You will have to sign to ride with the pack. We will have road captains, and we'll be sober. And once we get over to River's Edge, everybody be on their own after we disperse from there. And so I've looked at the weather, and it looks like we're going to have nothing but beautiful weather for this thing. So that's one of the things I could really hope for the most.
Yeah,
so, and all the proceeds that we're doing is we're putting this in trust for these kids. So that way they'll have a helping hand when the time comes and they're old enough and need a helping hand, that we've done something for them to get a start in life.
Is there a number, or website, or Facebook page, or place for more information? If someone's listening right now, or when we share this and different people get to see it, can they make donations? Is there a place to do that? Do you have a contact information for that?
We do have a account set up with that you can Venmo or Zelle to. Let me see real quick here. Let me see real quick if I have that.
I mean, if not, they can contact the Born to Rider here at Boss Hogg and leave their information, and I'm sure Fright Fester would get back with them on that. How important is this, man? We deal with this reality every day. This touches everybody, people. That's for sure. Yeah, and it's just part of life, I guess, and it's just really, it never is easy, no matter who you lose. And when you care about somebody, it's never easy. But the other donation part that you're asking about, I could get that information to you. Okay.
I don't have it in front of me right at this moment. But we have started an account up, and people have been contributing to that. So we're hoping that everything will be a success and that we'll have a nice, safe ride. We're not making a big, long trek. It's from Seffner to Gibsonton. And I picked the spots just because all these places have big parking lots, to be honest with you. So I'm hoping we fill parking lots up.
Well, it's about passion and the emotion of this event. Give me a memory of Justin, man. Tell me something about when you guys were together and something happened.
Yeah, well, the last they came, once he had his, funny thing is, this is even kind of crazy too. His youngest son, Hank, was born on my birthday, and Hank has not made it to his first birthday yet. And Justin passed on the 5-year-old's birthday. So we've kind of thought that was a little bizarre, to be honest with you. But they were coming over. They'd come over and have, hang out with us, cook out. And, as a new couple together starting out, they've just good people. They both worked, and it's certainly devastated his wife because it's made things difficult with her now as well. So, but I know she'll recover. But prior to Smoky Bones, he was a bartender at Hard Rock Casino at the cafe for 8 years. So that was primary work that he did. But he was just a good, all-around good guy. I mean, he had a lot of friends. We've done a celebration of life for him already at Smoky Bones, and there was standing room only there. So he's certainly had a following of friends behind that all really cared about him. And like I said, he was probably good enough of a golfer to where he could have actually turned to become semi-pro and on to being a pro golfer. That was his real passion.
Well, I mean, everybody can relate to playing golf, man. My son plays it all the time. My mom's 92, still plays golf twice a week. And
That's tremendous.
Yeah.
But I'll certainly get the information that you're needing over to you, and that way, if you want to get that out, that'd be fine with us.
For sure.
And
So right now, people are out there listening, wanting to figure something to do. Why should they come and be a part of this? Just tell them how much it's needed to help the family. And I'm sure he was a great father too.
yeah, what we're gonna do a $15 registration, $5 for an extra rider. Okay, and we're gonna have draw a card at each one of these spots, and we're gonna pay $500 to the winning hand. So that'll be something to look forward to for some lucky winner.
And they'll give it back because that's what bikers do.
Yeah, I know the biker family always steps up, usually when there's something going on, and having this weather forecast that I'm seeing is going to make a big difference, just because it's absolutely looks like it's going to be the best weather you could possibly think of riding in.
Well,
So-
we want to thank you, Jeff, for reaching out to Born to Ride, and so we could help you do this. And like I said, anything we can do, we're here for you.
Well, I certainly appreciate the page ad that you guys put in the magazine. It was very nice, and y'all did a great job on that. And I appreciate Born to Ride and your listeners, and we'll hope to see everybody that we can on Saturday.
All right. Well, thanks for calling in, man. All the best, and God bless those sons, his wife, and family and friends. And bikers will be there for you because they're out doing great things all the time, and they know when to support and how to react. Pete, you guys got any last words for this for Jeff and his situation?
Just our condolences, brother, and hope that everything goes well with the family, and that your turnout is really great. We hope all the best for you.
Best to everything.
Appreciate it so much, guys.
All right, man.
All right, take care.
All right, thank you, Jeff.
Thank you, Jeff. Okay. Yeah, think about that. 13-year-old, 5-year-old, and a 9-month-year-old.
It's a story that plays
Boy.
out all too often.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah.
Whether it's the illness that takes someone, or in our line, in our world, just somebody that's not paying attention behind the wheel. So we wish him the best and hope that his run's a success.
Because you can't run away from that kind of stuff. You got to deal with it, and then it's reality. And you wonder, like a friend of mine in Georgia, his pastor last night on the way to church was killed on his motorcycle. And you think, why take a pastor? But why give a child kidney failure at a young age? Or now, what you guys do is why abuse a child? Why neglect a child?
Right.
So it goes from one extreme to the other, and bikers, regular people care, but bikers, you mess with a child around a biker,
You got a
something's
problem.
going to happen.
Yeah.
But the feelings and the passion and the emotion, we get the calls all the time, this just happened to this guy or that guy, but some children, they never get an opportunity because they're held down in different ways. And that's where you guys, what you're doing is so great. And you got a big event this weekend.
Yeah.
And let's talk about it, man, because right now, lost a father, 3 kids, and there's another, every day there's a different story. So
Unfortunately.
we have to move on as media and help make a change and make a difference for others. So let's make a difference now with this Pinwheel ride. I see the pinwheels right now going around. It's really important to remember pinwheels.
Absolutely.
And how important this is, people, to get behind this. Right, Ninja?
Yes, because these kids can't speak up for themselves. We have to speak up for them. If we don't, then they continue to get injured and abused, and it's verbal, it's sexually, it's all kinds of abuse. It just doesn't stop at one thing.
Yeah. And there's been a few instances that just here recently in the news. One of the messages that we preach all the time is that, these kids are being abused by the people that are supposed to love and protect them. Mm-hmm. They're known to the child 95% of the time. So
someone they trust.
yeah, absolutely. And if the people who are most responsible for taking care of them aren't doing the job, it falls on the rest of us to keep an eye out and know the signs. And most importantly, if you think that a child's in risk, you got to make a call. And some people recently did that. I can't recall the exact circumstances. We talked last time about the waitress in Orlando, but again, recently another similar situation where a person was shopping in the local Walmart and saw this toddler,
It was
kind
me.
of having. No, not you. Well, you've done that before.
Yeah, I did.
You've done that before
She
as
was
well.
holding the toddler up against her real hard when he started crying, and kind of followed her around the store, and she kind of smacked him in the back of the head a couple times. I followed her a little bit more, started videotaping her, and I called Child Protective Safety on her because the last thing she did, she pulled the child's hair and then smacked him real hard in the back of the head.
See something, say something.
Exactly.
Did they show up?
Yeah, they did. And I never found out what happened with the end result. Hopefully the child was taken away from her. But how many people passed by this girl and just ignored what was going on?
They
But that
just took it
child
for
was only
granted.
about 2 years old.
Yep.
Well, then you have a worker that comes in, and now he steps in. He doesn't really know. He's just hearing stories. So now he's got to figure out, do I just walk away and just, everything's okay? So that's a real hard, you guys have to, recognize that happens a lot too. They come to the
Sure.
scene, they look around, and then they
Right.
walk away 2 and 3 times, and then all of a sudden someone dies. A
Yeah, a lot
child
of people don't
dies.
want to get involved. I work with people that, for 14 years, they don't want us to news because they don't want to know. They ignore it. They don't want to get involved. That's their business, not mine. It's crazy how many people just ignore what's going on.
But what about the work, protective
The case
services,
workers.
the caseworkers?
Yeah, the
they come
caseworkers
there,
even
and
sometimes. There was a
sometimes they
recent
see a
case-
blind eye, have a blind eye
Yeah,
too.
there was a recent case where one got fired because
The
she
sheriff's
was
department,
supposed to be
right?
checking. Yeah, she was supposed to be checking on
saw
his
that,
kids,
and she was just
and
checking
she
it off
just
and not
checking
doing
it
it.
off, and nobody saw her.
And to their end, though, they
One
are
of the kids got
totally
badly injured.
overwhelmed.
Yes,
Totally
I can
are.
imagine.
But
You know,
it doesn't.
and it's hard to
that's,
get that
That's
done.
still not an excuse
That
for
doesn't
shortcut.
excuse lying
No, it's
on
not.
the forms.
No.
Yeah,
It's
exactly.
not.
Because one of these kids got seriously injured, ended up in the hospital because of her ignoring it.
Yeah.
And they said, what about the welfare check for the kids? She never did it. And
Yeah.
then they talked to several parents that she was supposed to be checking on, and none of them saw her for months. She was just checking off the boxes on the forms.
Yeah, like Mama Dix, there's no excuse for
There isn't, no.
cutting corners like that. But I could see if they do come in and really try to figure it out, and they just can't, or they somehow don't push the envelope as much.
Right.
And I've heard like sometimes they'll go back 2 and 3 times to the same place or residence, and then all of a sudden someone's dead.
Yeah.
And they
Yeah.
could have prevented that, but they don't have the power to make that call. Or, I don't know how all that works, but that's got to be a lot of pressure, like you said, on the workers to deal with that every day.
It
It's like
is,
a
yeah.
homicide investigator,
Right.
traffic death. Those
Well-
guys that go to the accident scene, that same officer that gives you a ticket in the morning is the same one who can take a bullet for you that night. But they're seeing carnage every day. They go home to their families. So
Right.
same thing with workers in your field. Do you guys have any contact with them?
We do. We've been associated with guardian ad
Domestic
litem
shelters.
programs and some of the DCF reps.
And you never do a ride along or anything like that, or get
Have
involved
not.
that way?
Often you have to be have a background check
Yeah, there's
done
a
on the
process to
DCF
it.
status
do a
in order to be
ride-on
able to
for
do anything
something
like that. But
Yeah. We have been to court with a couple of kids, and just to sit there, and I personally can't listen to a child in court because I've been there. My childhood was not very good, and I was abused myself, but it's hard to listen to these kids, and then they step out of the courtroom, and they're in one way relieved, and another way they just put away their father,
Right.
you
Or
know,
mother.
for the rest of his life.
Yeah.
And I remember this one child, never forget her. She was probably about 8 years old when we first got involved with her. And we went to court with her. And after the court date, he had his hearing. And she wanted to go to his hearing and read a letter to him that she wrote. And she said she only wrote it because I gave her the courage to do it. And I told her, you look him right dead in the eye and you tell him how you feel about what he did to you. And be strong about it. And she was. But she just lost it when she left the courtroom.
But at the same time,
It's
the poor
hard.
child is talking to the
It's
person who
devastating
she
to them,
trusted the
yeah.
most.
That was her father.
I mean, it's a really, I guess a lot of psychological
That's the thing.
abuse
When these
as well.
kids go through this stuff, they need to stay in therapy, because in a lot of cases they don't. And she was one of the cases. She just got out of drug rehab. She's 16.
Now, are there programs where the therapy doesn't cost them anything?
There are, yeah.
Okay.
Oh yeah.
Well,
Because it makes a
typically,
difference when you're in,
yeah, a lot of these families, unfortunately, it is an entire circumstance. You know, so many of these families will fall under Medicaid, you know, and they pick up the cost. And there are other programs available. You just have to reach out. I think people don't know where to reach out to.
Right.
And that's one of the things that we try to make available. You know, if you reach out to us, we have a whole bunch of different resources that we can help you connect with.
One number that they can call if they need any kind of resource is 211. And I know we're not the only ones that push that number, but if you call 211, they can get you help with anything, get you shelter, they can get you a way to get away from where you are. They can get you resources for therapy. It's all
It's like a
kinds of
clearinghouse.
resources.
Yeah.
Now, 211, that's, you know, of course you've heard 911,
Right.
511,
Right.
you know, traffic, but
Right.
211, what is this?
It's a resource number.
It's actually a United Way program.
Yeah, it's like United Way, yeah.
And there's a trained operator who'll answer the call 24/7 and listen to what you have to say, and then he'll point you in the right direction to resources in your community. So this is a nationwide program, so
So-
anywhere you are.
This, the Bikers Care. You two started it?
Yeah,
How
5
did you
years
come
ago.
up with the Pinwheel? What's
That's
this
not
for?
us. That's the national.
Oh, that's
the
just the
national
national.
Pinwheel.
National
Okay.
symbol. Yeah.
All
Yeah,
right.
what I was
That's
going to
awesome.
ask, what I was going to ask is first off, let's say, what is Bikers Care?
Wow. It's I
It's
tell you
us.
what, it's us. It's us in our third. We asked her to see if she could make it.
Is it a 501c3?
We are
We are.
501c3. In fact, April 6th was our fifth birthday
anniversary. Yeah.
of being official.
What's your mission statement?
To end child abuse in our communities and come to the aid of children who've been victimized.
How can people contact you? I mean, the website, or if they want to get more involved, maybe volunteer or just give you their
Sure.
story for support or get some support or all that.
It's bikers-care.org is the website. You can Google us. We're not hard to find. Facebook, we're on Facebook. We do a lot of stuff there. I think we're on Instagram. We do stuff there. So we try to maintain social media outreach. A lot of our stuff gets picked up by people from all across the country. You know, we'll get a call. And then you can call our hotline, 813-609-2457. And that's monitored 24/7. As Ron probably knows, we're only three of us,
Yeah.
but that's okay. You know, because again, that's part of the biker world, right? I mean, bikers are the kind of people that don't talk; they get it done.
Right.
And
that's
Hey,
us.
that's like the Marines.
Yeah,
Yeah.
right. It's just get it
That's
done.
us.
They get it
We
done.
get it
Get
done.
it done, and so that's what we're trying to do.
Well, you got to have leadership. And if anybody has leadership, I've watched you guys, your leadership and your driven passion for this, right, Fester, Mama Dukes?
Oh, I
They
think
have
it's
it.
amazing.
Yeah.
Like, I absolutely love
You
it.
know, it
Boy, they
doesn't
haven't
matter
seen
how
us behind
many.
the scenes, have they?
It doesn't matter how many people we have. If you have good leadership, others will follow.
Right.
Leaders lead,
Yeah.
Winners
We
win.
try to
too.
delegate some of the work out too, because there aren't a few of us like this event. We have each one of the child advocacy centers taking over registration, taking over the poker table, the taking over the gift baskets that are. We have a lot of people that are helping us this time around. We tried doing this on our own, and I think we were just about ready to strangle each other at the end of that. We were so cranky and bitchy.
So it's all right.
I was
And-
like, man,
and-
I want to
Well,
strangle
that's-
you right now,
that-
but
that's-
we had to delegate.
That's good to
It's a lot of
have
work.
those agencies help because they get
Plus,
firsthand
they're- yeah.
impact of the biker community,
Right.
the people who care, their stories, their businesses.
Yeah, we
They'll
want
be able to
people to
magnify
talk
it.
to them. So we figured the easiest way to get them to talk to these people is bring them in. Let them volunteer. Let people come out and ask them, what do you do?
Let them
You
feel
know?
the power.
Yeah, let them see where their money's
Well,
going.
they came out. They came out last year.
Oh, they did.
and they loved the fact
loved
they could
it.
interact with the bikers and share what they do. And they got a lot of queries and questions
They
and,
did.
and a lot of great conversations. We certainly hope that happens again.
They probably picked up some volunteers as well, I'm sure,
And
and
even
some
if people
donations.
need help,
Yeah.
they have their resources right there.
All right, so let's talk about the event. It's the 5th annual already.
Yeah, man.
It's crazy.
Congratulations,
It is.
man.
Thanks.
5th
Keep going.
year. All right, where does it start and, all that stuff?
It's going to start at the Citrus County or Inverness Sheriff's Office, downtown Inverness.
So you got the sheriff's office involved. That's
They're
a
going to
really
be
smart move.
escorting the ride.
That's at
And-
the sheriff's office.
In Inverness.
So that's cool, man. You know, that if anything's community is your sheriff's department.
Right.
They don't want to go to these homes and see abused kids.
No.
You know, and they know how that gray matter in the middle from the worker to the family to taking the kid, putting them in, or, you know, that's hard.
It is.
Right.
The police have to deal with that. You know, sometimes that's why they have them little bears and little stuffed animals in their car to
Right.
give to kids to try
Right.
to help them.
Help
you know,
comfort 'em.
or, you know, to comfort them. And I can't, you know, our first responders, they deal with that every day, and they have to deal with
They
the
really
parents, the victim, you know, everything, man. You know,
Yeah.
that's why this is
It's
important.
a lot to consume because it can give you pretty bad dreams at night after seeing
I was
some of the
gonna
stuff
say.
that you see.
yeah.
As a
Yeah.
child,
Anyone
just,
involved
like,
in that front
I
line
can't even imagine.
Yeah.
has to be able to.
I absolutely can't.
I've seen a lot of stuff myself, and I also have PTSD from my abuse, but there's certain things that I can't see, certain things I can't smell, certain things I can't be around. But
Because it triggers.
yeah, it does. It does trigger memories. And there's some things that I don't remember that I've totally blocked out. But me helping these kids is good therapy for me.
I think we need harsher laws. Like
We do.
You know, like a lot harsher.
Well,
We
one
do
good thing
pretty
about
good in
that,
Florida. I tell you what. I mean, we've had interactions in different states, and if
Florida's
like-
got pretty
like
good
her-
laws down here.
yeah.
Yeah, I mean, if you're convicted of lewd lascivious on a child, that's life.
Yeah.
You know,
that one little
and
girl was
helping
talking
that,
about.
helping that child be able to, and that's a great job. I got to share the props with. We all know BACA, Bikers Against Child Abuse.
Yeah.
That's their forte.
Yeah.
Is getting in there and supporting that child through that court process, and to give them that strength to get through that process. Well, that's just like batting a home run because that
Yeah.
that
It's a
case
big
is
thing
done
for those
deal.
kids.
So big props out to Florida. It's not perfect, but we've seen instances where a nurse that used to work with her in the hospital, who came down out of New York State. He seemed like a nice guy until the cops
Yeah.
came to pick him up for extradition back to New York, where he was convicted of lewd and lascivious on 4 mentally handicapped teenagers. That
and
he
I
would-
worked with him for 5 years.
It's
Yeah.
a
and they
child.
put and they
No idea.
and they put him on probation.
Yeah.
4 cases.
10 years probation in New York.
Four charges in
cases.
New York just put him on probation.
Yeah, I mean, think of the stories. That's just one, probably a million stories.
And the young lady I was
thousands of
talking
stories.
about, her father got 65 years plus life.
What I was going to say is, right now, think of Ukraine. Think of the children
Yes.
what they're going through.
Yeah, they're
I mean,
also
You know,
doing that
I mean,
out in the open.
I mean, this is like almost as bad as World War II and
Yes.
stuff. I mean, they're devastating this countryside.
Yeah.
But what's happening is they're going after everybody. You know,
They
and
are.
it's terrible. But these kids, you
You're
know,
hearing these kids, their mothers are being killed, and the kids are being raped in the streets, and
in front of
it's
their
insane
parents. Just,
what they're doing.
It's war crimes. You know,
It's
but
insane.
but think of the children.
Yes.
What the children are
What they're
going,
going
through.
through.
They didn't.
Yeah.
They don't deserve that.
No,
No,
they
one
don't.
does. But man, they're being displaced, and you know they got to get out of there.
Well, here their life
you know?
was good before all this started, and now it's just in total chaos and all
mean-
the things that these kids have to go through, and the parents too.
I mean, I'm in a heavy metal band, Nasty Savage. We actually played Saturday night. I survived another show. But,
Another TV.
You know,
And,
so we had 4 TVs. There was
Four.
but you know, I used to get fan mail from Ukraine, the
Mm-hmm.
headbangers, the kids. But right now, we're enjoying what we're doing on
Mm-hmm.
stage and the fans. But those kids, they lost everything.
Yeah, they did.
So
Yeah.
the universal, international caring about children is so important. You guys have your arm of it that you're doing. We started talking about the beginning. You got the sheriff's department. That's bona fide. You know, that's reality there. So you got a great base, people. Can you hear that? Go get mama from the kitchen. Get involved in this. I mean,
Well, that gives you street cred.
I mean,
Yeah.
Absolutely.
You know, and you know, you're
Yes.
probably not going to have any problems with the ride.
No.
They're
No.
probably going to be, all the intersections will be taken care of.
Absolutely.
So it's
They are.
police escorted.
Yep.
Yes, they've been doing that past few years.
Yeah,
And we wanted to do that
that's
to
a
make
good
sure
sheriff
everybody was
over
safe.
there. What's
We
the
wanted to make
sheriff's
sure-
name? You know?
Chronister.
Yeah, what a great guy he is. He's a Shriner. He
is, yeah.
supports the Shriners. We did some
He
stuff
does.
with him. All right, so it starts there. Then what happens? But what time does it start there?
Well, we have kickstands up, I believe, at 10,
11.
11 o'clock.
Registration is
Registration
at 10.
starts at 10.
and kickstands up at 11.
We also have a, well, we got a surprise at the last minute. We were trying to get the Pinwheel truck, And unfortunately, the Pinwheel semi was wrecked. So in the process, we got in touch with the guy with the pinwheels, and he got us one of the box trucks that has
Mobile billboards.
the mobile billboard. And that is going to be leading the ride, the truck is.
Awesome.
And it's going to be parked out at Harley after the ride.
And all the awareness messages that we want to
They're
get is going to be
all
on
on the
these
truck.
huge billboards on the side of that truck, just rotating as we go down the road, and it'll be parked out in front of Crystal.
It's going to be pretty awesome.
Which will be going there from noon to 4.
So what? It just leaves from the sheriff's department. It's like a scenic ride.
It's
No
going to be a
stop.
scenic
Yeah,
ride.
no,
It'll
Just
probably
to the
about an
Harley
hour.
shop.
Yeah,
45
nice,
minutes.
Police escorted.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's going to go through what? That's the nature coast over there.
Yep.
Oh,
Nature
yeah.
Coast,
Gorgeous
beautiful
roads.
country
Oh, my
there.
God.
Gorgeous
Absolutely.
road in Citrus County.
There's a-
And I want to stress that to everybody's listening that we're doing it in Citrus County, but I want everybody to know, though, that this is in support of the 5 child advocacy centers that serve Citrus, Hernando, Lake, Sumter, and Pasco counties. So this entire area, just don't be put off because, it's just going to help Citrus.
It's
no,
not just Citrus.
if you come out in support of this event, every dime, 100% of the proceeds is going to be divided among these 5 agencies, and they need the money. These are the people who are on the front line. They work primarily with sexual abused kids, but they provide the forensic investigation. They provide this therapy, the support for the child and the family. And as well, it's needed, unfortunately, but it's needed. So you'll get a chance to support. You're supporting your community. You're helping the kids in your community, no matter which of the 5 counties that you come from.
Now,
That's
Pete,
a good point there.
$20 per rider,
Yes, sir.
$15 per passenger.
Correct.
Yep.
Okay, and that's what this is all about. We're trying to raise awareness and
Yes.
money for these, county
advocacy centers.
there. But I know the last time you were in here, you gave some statistics
Yes.
that I'd like you to touch base on them before you go, because we're going to have another caller coming in a few minutes.
Sure.
But just want to share, because some of those numbers were just absolutely astounding to me, as far as if you're out there and you're listening, okay, this is why people like Pete and Ninja are needed. Share that, Pete, please.
Yeah, sure. Probably one thing I want to tell everybody is if you combine the populations of Tampa and Orlando, that's the number of kids in the state of Florida alone that are abused every year.
700,000.
Yeah, and I want to stress that that's how many individual children. That's not the number of instances of abuse. These kids are abused numerous times over. So it's a huge, huge problem. And that covers the spectrum from
Are those just
emotional-
from reports, or how
These
do
are
they get
reported
those?
cases.
That's just
So
reported
that's-
cases.
Those aren't
No,
the
no,
ones that
no.
aren't
Those are
reported.
those are confirmed cases.
Yeah, okay,
Yes.
that's what I mean.
That's
but
not the number.
That's not all the
Right.
ones that aren't
of
reported.
complaints.
Well,
Well-
like you said, the same child could be abused 20 times.
Right. You're right.
That
Multiple-
that just magnifies.
One
Right.
abuser can abuse up to 500 kids in their lifetime.
Is that the
one
main?
abuser.
Buster, is that what you're talking about? The
Well,
statistics?
some of those statistics, and I think you were
There's
talking
a-
about
few others I can give you real quick.
Citrus County. I think you were talking about as far as being born under a drug addiction.
and I'm
it just-
sure they're not the only one. That's the newest
Yeah.
statistic that I can call offhand. And I think one of the reasons that we were led to go back to Citrus County and become home there for this event. Huge drug problem in the county, as there are across the state, unfortunately. But roughly 70% of the children born in Citrus County being born into addiction.
7 out of 10, Ron.
Yep. Wow.
7 out of 10 kids being born, starting off. I mean, in other words, at birth, you're behind the 8 ball.
Yeah, that's not good.
It's a challenge.
One thing the Shriner said always rings a bell with me is, "You're never too tall until you stoop down to help a child."
That's for
Right,
sure.
is that it? Yeah, that's
Yep.
the saying. And that's the power of this conversation today, people. That's why we want to get it in your mind to think about the 5th annual Bikers Care Pinwheel Run. Now, you guys are going to stay in studio with us.
Absolutely.
Gary Michaels, I think, is on the phone. The magic man, the golden voice, everything that he's got, the jet flying, limousine riding, the whole 9 yards.
I have a question real quick before we
Yeah.
go over to Gary. If there's a child out there, that needs you guys, is there the same phone number they call
Yes.
if they needed
Yes.
to? Again, what's the phone number?
813
Okay,
609 2457.
2457.
And what happens when they call? Do you get them to somebody else, or do
Well,
you-
we have
No.
a 24/7. We monitor
We
24/7.
monitor.
If we get a call, we're going to reach out
We're
to
gonna
that
reach out to
caller and find out what the issue is. and then we'll try to point them in the right direction for assistance.
Great service.
Looking
Two
forward
great
to the ride
people,
this
no
weekend.
doubt.
That's coming up this weekend, guys. Saturday the 9th.
Okay, and Gary Michaels, are you there?
You know, somebody came up to me the other day and they said, "Hey, you have pretty teeth." I said, "Thank you." She said, "Are they yours?" I said, "Yes, my grandmother gave them to me."
And they fit?
But they belong to my grandfather,
Oh.
who actually died on the Titanic. And as far as I know, he's still there.
Okay.
That's way down there.
Where are you at right now, Gary?
I am in Panama City Beach at a place called the No Name, listening to a guy named Kevin Jacobs, who's probably one of the most incredible musicians in the country. He's just phenomenal. He's just really good. So, how are you guys doing?
Well, we're doing good, but I want to ask you a question, Gary. In the studio,
I'll make up an answer.
We have the 5th annual Bikers Care Pinwheel Run, and it's an escorted ride. It's this weekend, but it's all going to help abused children. And, just cut a quick little promo about how important it is to support that. Because you're
It's
a biker.
always
You're a biker. You know the deal.
Listen, it is always incredible to support children, veterans, and the elderly. When it comes to that, I'm all about it. Where's the ride going to be?
Pete, tell them where it's
Well, we're
going
going to be started at 10 a.m. registration at the Citrus County Sheriff's Office in Inverness. Take an escorted ride through the beautiful back road, scenic country of Citrus County to Crystal Harley-Davidson. And then noon to 4, be entertained by the band Torn, with all kinds of ways for me to get into your wallet when you get there.
Yeah, we didn't talk about the entertainment and things going on at the Crystal River Harley.
You know what? You and I have something in common. I'm a professional pickpocket. I can get into your wallet.
Then we need you, brother. Come on down. Help us out.
Yes,
Gary could be your MC.
Listen, it would. Yes, I would more than willing to be your MC, and I would be more than willing to get on the ride because I love to ride. As a matter of fact, we just took a ride last weekend, and it was 8-hour ride, maybe 8 hours. Oh, April's here with me. I'll say hi to April.
Hey, April.
Hey guys, how are you?
So we run on a ride last weekend, and I think that it is more important to jump on that motorcycle for a really good cause, such as the children, than anything else in the world. I think everybody should get on board with this.
Awesome, Gary. So Panama City, that must mean it's almost showtime for you coming up. Bro. What do you have coming up?
Are you ready?
It's
Oh
this
my
month,
gosh,
brother.
dude, we've been on tour with the Magic and Mayhem tour all year, and we're back home to Panama City. We're doing Bike Week, obviously, at the Wicked Wheel at the barn, and I'd like to thank Hurricane Oyster Bar. I definitely want to thank a brand new sponsor. They're called Gents. It is a man spa.
Okay.
A man spa? What is it, Gents?
Spa.
Just for men?
So can you recommend
words-
the Manny Patty there?
Well, they don't necessarily do your fingers and toes. But
Oh,
they'll
okay.
shave your back and give you a shot of Fireball while they're doing it.
Okay.
They should start the petty thing. I think that would catch on, don't you think, Mama Dukes?
I know, right?
Sure
we're
loves
doing
a good
it again.
petty.
Heck yeah.
We're doing it again at the Wicked Wheel there at the barn, but we're doing a little different this year, guys. We're doing it on Friday night, and we're going to start early. And now here's why. And Ron, you'll appreciate this because I think I sent you the promo for it. Is on Friday night during Thunder Beach, we're doing our show at 5:30. Doors open at 5. Show starts at 5:30. I'll get you out of there by 7 o'clock because Uncle Ted Nugent goes on stage at Frank Brown Park on Friday night. So I'm going to get you come in, have a great time, some great laughs, be amazed, and then I'll get you out of there in enough time to go see Ted Nugent.
Wango Tango.
Wango Tango, right? So Thursday night,
Cat Scratch Fever.
the Kentucky Headhunters opening up for Travis Tritt. Thursday night, Ted Nugent. And then on Saturdays, Jackal and Kid Rock. How you doing, baby? Come on.
I really think that they're changing the course in Thunder Beach, Panama City, of biker rallies in Florida. I mean, this is going to be epic, man. I mean, There's
Oh, it's already off the chain. People
Yeah.
are talking like you would not believe. And like I said, I'm doing. There's no way in the world I'm going to compete with Kid Rock. I mean, yeah, Gary Michaels is badass and he's awesome and he can do magic and hypnotize people and make them cluck like chickens or make them allow me to come stay at their house with Mama Dukes and Fester. Yeah, I'm able to do that, but there's no way I'm going to compete with Kid Rock because he is an American badass. He is an American patriot just as much as Ted Nugent is. And I'm so excited to be a part of this lineup that they have at Thunder Beach this year.
We're looking
And
forward
I'm
to it.
extremely excited. Now, hold on. Now, I got to add to that. I'm extremely excited, as always, to have Born to Ride in my hip pocket and CycleFish.com in my hip pocket. You guys are absolutely 100% pure amazing, and we love y'all very much, man. Thunder Beach is going to be, like you said, Ron, epic this year. Unbelievable. Looking forward to it.
I mean, Daytona's got to watch out now because they've never brought in talent like this. And, you know, I mean, you have to pay to go to the concerts, right? And it's a package, right? It's a.
You can buy single tickets
think
or
so.
3-day passes.
So, I mean, there's revenue to be made, but think of the economic
Mama Dukes has
impact.
already checked this out. In fact, she informed me
got a
that
hotel arrangements.
we've got the room as officially as of yesterday. So, you know,
How close is the
I don't know that
closest
we've got the
campground?
tickets yet, though, right?
No, they'll be purchased
Oh,
tomorrow
so you
morning.
know what's funny is Mama Dukes and Fester is going to be here in Panama City for the whole week while Gary Michaels is here with them riding our motorcycles. God help you both.
Yeah.
I am going to be all over you guys like a rat on a Cheeto.
Okay.
Gary, do you know where
Forward
that?
to it.
Gary, do you know where that marina is? They're in there like it's a little like a dolphin show place that has dolphins right there on the main street.
You know, it's funny because the place that I'm at the moment is called No Name Lounge, and right next to it is a dolphin touring thing. But you might be talking about either Off the Hook or Sisters of the Sea.
Well, it
There's
was
a
a
couple
pretty
of
big place, and they have the dolphin shows inside there. Years ago.
Oh, yeah. That's right on the strip, man. That's
Yeah.
right on Front Beach Road.
There's some kind of little diner right next to it, or maybe even a Waffle House. I don't know. But one night I was there at Thunder Beach.
Gulf World. Gulf World is the name of it. And I actually
Yeah.
took April there on her birthday to swim with the dolphins. See how cool I am?
I want to tell you a story about last year at Thunder Beach. We were at the Waffle House. Okay.
Stories start at the Waffle House.
They always do. Okay. So anyway, Mama Dukes, breakfast doesn't matter what time of the day. I mean, that's her favorite meal. So anyway, it's in the afternoon, 2:00, 2:30 in the afternoon. I'm hungry. Let's go to the Waffle House. So we sit down, and it's busy. It's bike week. I mean, it's crazy things going on. This gentleman's got a name tag, and it's a regional manager. Okay, I mean, so he's not even the manager of the Waffle House. He's the regional manager of all the Waffle Houses. So
Wait a
anyway,
second. Was that his name, regional manager?
no, I don't remember the gentleman's name, but anyhow, I order and she goes to order and she says, and pancakes, you know, and he taps his name tag and says, "Ma'am, we don't have pancakes," you know, and she says, "What? You don't have pancakes?" You know, I mean, you know.
No, first he looks down at me and he said, "Ma'am, please do not cuss at me." And I was like, and he taps
Pancakes?
it and he is like, "We don't have pancakes." And I'm like, I almost,
And I mean, 3 times, and I had to look at her. I says, "It's the Waffle House, babe. It's the Waffle House."
just wanted pancakes.
You got to go to
You know
IHOP.
what? Maybe I need to hypnotize Mama Duke and let her know the difference between a waffle and a pancake.
Yep.
Check this out, though. So my kids probably were 6, 8, or something like that, and it was the end of the night, and me and my son went to the diner, and we were sitting. It had to be 12 o'clock at night. We were sitting there eating, and this guy next to us started talking to him, and we're bikers, born to ride, and all of a sudden he's looking at my son. I go, "Yeah, man, it'd be cool to see the dolphins next door." He goes, he pulls out his badge, and he's like the guy who runs the place. He goes, "Come on, let's go," and I was able to, with my son, go into this dolphin place in the middle of the night, he turned the lights on. The dolphins came to life, and they started doing the jumps in the air and stuff. Right, just personal. It was just an unbelievable moment, and it's something we'll probably never forget because we shared such a cool moment.
Absolutely.
And the guy gave him a stuffed dolphin leaving from the gift shop, and it was just amazing how the power of people, the power of kindness. If you do something good, I saw something today. Thomas Brown, he goes out and helps veterans, and he just said, I was in Walmart today, and a lady in front of me was short $1, and he just gave her $1. She broke down and cried and went down on the floor. People behind him were crying. They all felt the power of kindness, and that man put some kindness on us, and those are things that you don't forget in life. And Pete and Ninja, they're trying to find that happy kindness to help other people have more kindness and more hope in life.
Well, they're certainly trying to go after some children that certainly need a little bit of kindness in the world, and know that it's not just them by themselves, and that the world's not as cruel as they have experienced.
There are people out there with some compassion, and a lot of more people need more compassion.
Yeah. And
T-Man's a hell of a guy.
It does.
And
So let me give you a little heads up about Walmart and kindness. I don't know, it was probably 4 or 5 years ago. Business was great, doing well with shows and doing well with with my other business. And I'm in Walmart, and there's this family, limited means, didn't look like they had a whole lot, and they were putting all their stuff on the counter to pay for it. And I don't know, I want to say it was like $200 or $300 for all this, and she just had this look on her face, and I was standing behind her, and I looked over at the guy, and I said, here, take this, I'm taking care of all this. And the kids, there was like 3 or 4 kids there, and the kids looked at me, and they go, who are you? I said, I'm Gary Michaels. They go, we don't know you. I said, don't worry, nobody else does either. But I'm going to pay for your groceries.
Yeah,
and that woman started crying right there on the spot. The lady at the Walmart started crying, and if everybody does that at least once in their life, just one time, if they do it just once, the feeling they get, the energy they get from doing that is going to make them want to do it more, but it's also going to make them feel better about who they are.
I'm telling you, the power of kindness, man. I was in a store, and I was buying an anniversary card, and I had the balloons and stuff, and I was telling the lady, I was in line, it's our anniversary, blah, blah. And when I went to pay for mine, she goes, I want to pay for it for you. So just, because she just felt the passion and the emotion that I had because I was excited it was our anniversary. And, when somebody does something kind like that, man. But we're coming to the end of the show. Let's plug your event one more time. It's the 5th annual Bikers Care Pinwheel Ride. It's this Saturday.
This Saturday,
Or do they need to be a part of it? Come on, Tom.
Registration open at 10. Citrus County Sheriff's Office in Inverness, Florida. Kickstands up at 11. Noon to 4, Crystal River. Band Torn be playing. Got silent raffles. We've got a gift card lottery. Give us $20. You get a gift card. Draw one out of the hat. You're guaranteed at least worth $20, if not more. Got an indoor poker run that's being sponsored by Crystal Harley. $400 cash prize for best hand, $100 gift card for worst, and just all kinds of great stuff. You got to come out and support the kids.
$20 per riders, $15 passengers.
Per
correct?
passenger, yep.
And that's awesome. And you know what? The crowd itself is happy for you guys. Well, that's awesome.
Hey, guys.
That put a smile on everybody's face.
And listen, real quick, my show at Panama City Beach this year is dedicated to the Bay County Sheriff's Office and all the surrounding agencies for the hard work that they did during spring break here in Panama City.
Oh, my God, I bet there's plenty of stories.
Brothers and sisters. I am dedicating my show to them. So I look forward to seeing you all in Panama City during Thunder Beach.
Awesome, Gary. We'll have you on next week, so we got a few more weeks for you, right, before you got to do your thing. So we'll be looking forward to hearing back from you, Gary. Thanks for calling in, brother.
Rock on.
Rock on.
Okay.
See you later.
See you there. Thanks. Okay.
That was a fast hour.
This hour always goes by fast, but it seems like it went by too fast this time. I want to take a moment and thank everyone that was here. Pete, Ninja, Ron. As always, this couldn't happen without you.
Or you guys. It's
Wow.
about people and teamwork.
That's true.
But anyway,
Thank you for having
And
us here.
magnifying the greatness of others. That's what this
Yes,
show is really about.
absolutely.
The power of kindness.
yeah.
Absolutely.
Bikers Care Pinwheel Run this Saturday. Bikers-care.org. As always, folks, be safe. Keep it in between the ditches. And remember Joe. Born to ride. Born to ride.
This is the Boss Hogg Radio Network. 1170 AM WKFL Bushnell. 1330 AM WWAB Lakeland Plant City. 1360 AM WHNR Cypress Gardens Winter Haven. And 1390 AM and 107.5 FM WAVP and W298BU FM